Hey guys, Dose, and let's talk about poor Pelosi, just getting hammered out there. Just this innocent husband, Nancy Pelosi, just getting clobbered by some guy in his underwear with a hammer. So now that I kind of have your attention. If you're not up to speed, let me bring you up to speed real quick. So, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, her husband, the claim is being made that someone in their underwear with hammers was able to not only defeat all the security on his property before they even get to the to the house, but he smashed his way in, and the man in the underwear named deport and Pelosi's husband had an ensuing hammer fight. That's the official story. Now, I'm not going to get into the speculation of whether or not deport was a male hooker and hammer time was something that was ordered or whatever. No, I'm not going to get into that. As fun as that may be, it doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't really prove anything or whatever. What I want to talk about is what the police are saying about all this, because it has to do, believe it or not, with me and you. What are the police saying about this? Well, the police are saying that, this was an assassination attempt, and, basically they're just running cover. Whatever happened at that property at that night, I can guarantee it was not an assassination attempt. It was something far more embarrassing. And that's, people go, oh yeah, it's a psyop and blah, blah. Psyops are really well thought out. Now, they don't really have to be. Sometimes what happens is they get caught with their pants down, and then they invent ridiculous stories to try to get themselves out of trouble, make themselves look better, and blame their political enemies. And that's exactly what happened here. So what they're saying is, deport, the not prostitute that was not invited over. Sorry, excuse me. He tried. He had a Facebook page, and he was anti. It rhymes with vaccine. It rhymes with that. He was anti that. He believes in all the stuff me and you believe in. Wow, it's so weird. It's so weird. But the reason why they're saying that his Facebook page was full of stuff that me and you also believe in, the reason why they're saying that is so that they can start saying that these people are dangerous. You and me, they're going to say that we're dangerous. That's the angle they've been playing for a long time now, guys. And I know you've been paying attention, but sometimes it helps to have somebody put it into perspective, nice and rapid fire. 20 years ago, when somebody said the word terrorist, you might have pictured, your Middle Eastern guy in his robes and his turban with his AK-47 and, his sandals, and his equipment was kind of beat up. Yeah, it's probably what you were thinking, right? That was the image the media kind of put out there into people's heads. Well, that's gradually and gently shifted away from that, and now that's me and you, right? It's the guy who lives in America, they own guns, they believe in really, really wacky things that totally aren't true, guys. Right? That's the new face of terror for the people to be afraid of. And they're falling for it. Again, this wouldn't be, this would be hilarious if people weren't falling for it. How how do you have an episode at 2 a.m. involving hammers and a guy in his underwear? Okay, so let's back that up for a second. Okay, let's back that up for a second. This guy's like me and you, supposedly, right? But he chooses to drop down to his skinnies, bring hammers with him, and that's what he's going to use to take out Pelosi's husband. That's what they want us to believe. That's what they want us to believe, right? He's just like me and you, because, you know, I'm not going to say the rest of it. I'm not going to say the rest of it. But they want us to believe, they want people out there to believe that that picture, that caricature, that's us. They want people to believe that. And people are. I've seen people, like on Twitter and everywhere else, talking about how, oh my goodness, people are laughing at this assassination attempt and how cruel and heartless, and that's why these people need to be stopped and blah, 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 right? Because again, politics destroys the mind, right? You can't just take what happened here, look at it objectively and be like, wow, this is really kooky. It looks like Pelosi's husband's into some really, really weird kinks. No, because as harmless as that may be to you as a person, it's a bruise to the ego. Because these are your heroes. These are people you're supposed to believe in. And you know how ridiculous and stupid and deranged they are. And you know how it looks. And that's why you're going to go with the police story. These are the people that want to abolish the police, and they're like, oh yeah, well the police said. And again, it's like, it makes no sense, guys. It makes no sense. I mean, is this story hilarious? Yes. The amount of laughter I've had over this, this is the most I've laughed in 2 years. I'm not kidding. This is the most I've laughed in 2 years. Because we all know what the truth is. That's absurd all on its own. But they're trying to weave this like official story that's so beyond ridiculous, right? Like, can you imagine, guys, fellas, get with me on this, right? Can you imagine trying to explain this one to your wife? Oh yeah, honey, he's not a gay prostitute. So what happened was, we have guard dogs, right? And like he was able to get past the cameras and the guard dogs and, and smash out the window. And I had no choice but to grab one of the hammers he brought with him. And then we got into a hammer fight. And then the police showed up. Like, can you imagine, guys, explaining this one to your wife or your girlfriend? My God, right? And, the police hear this and dude, the police know, right? The police know. They know all these politicians are strange, deranged, perverted individuals, completely disconnected from reality. They know that, but they also know what it means if they actually investigate this thing and start telling people the truth. Because I'm going to spill the beans and sausage a little bit here, guys, okay? My father, he was police for 30 years in a major city that had 4 times the murder rate per capita than New York. Very, very busy little violent town. All kinds of strange stuff happened in this town. And do you want to know something? The whole, hammer fight or whatever, guess what? That actually is a thing. That's a kink. He's actually been to calls where, neighbors have called or whatever, and you show up and it's 2 guys in leather beating each other with hammers. So that actually is a thing. Okay? So like I said, people want to believe this because it's just another way to blame their political enemies. Oh yeah, the Pape, he believes in all these conspiracy theories and he's a lunatic and blah 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 and whatever. And they're gonna put us in the same barrel as this guy. That's the game we're playing now. We're playing, how long can we stay on the internet? How long can we stay out of the crosshairs of the alphabet boys? Until all these people start screaming for our blood. That's the game we're playing right now. And it's so funny because they try to say that we're so dangerous and so violent and so crazy and aggressive, yet none of us are actually doing anything. And I'm okay with that. But none of us are actually doing anything. They have to make stuff up. They have to make crap up. They're in such a deficit for a villain that they have to make crap up. Some male hooker shows up and things go south, and he's like a Proud Boy MAGA dude, but that's anybody that isn't a leftist now. Have you noticed that too? Like I said, anything to the right anything to the right of extreme left is now considered right-wing extremism. I mean, I don't even consider myself right-wing. Most of you don't consider yourself right-wing. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just a way to punish us, to label us and punish us, because that's how you're supposed to do it. Like, you're supposed to refine it and make it simple. Propaganda needs to be simple to be digested. You can't have nuanced propaganda. Well, there's right-wing extremism, and then, there's anarchists, and there's many branches of anarchists. There's ANCAP, and, we have ANCOM, people can't, the brains can't keep up with that. They just need other people bad. People don't think like you bad. Done. And that's what they're doing here, at each and every turn. So, when I say this thing's a psyop or whatever, I don't mean like, oh, they planned that out. They planned out the male hooker to come over and, the police and, oh, yeah, it's really shoddy CIA work. No. What I'm trying to say is that it fits into a larger ploy. They just go with it. I mean, is this thing hilarious and embarrassing? Absolutely. Should people be looking at this and going, wow, I can't believe people like this exist in our government. These deranged perverts. Yeah, they should be looking at that and thinking that, but they don't. They want their heroes. So, I don't know, guys. It was too silly, too funny not to touch on, but also there's a bit of there's a sinister kind of like shadow behind it. I just wanted to point that out in case, some of you needed, some of you guys weren't aware of that. So, I love you guys. God bless. I'll see you next time.